This is where the action is.
Hello and welcome back to WVU Sports. I am Fate and I am joined here by Will. And today we are Mountaineers facing off against Fuel Esports here in NACE. Both these teams currently undefeated. So Will, going into this, what are we thinking?
I wish we could have gotten to watch more COD so far this semester. There's been
agree.
so many forfeits and reschedules. We've only actually played 2 games. We had the week 1 against NBC, and then we had a week 3 game against Baldwin Wallace, which was a 3-0 and done in about 15 minutes.
Yep.
So this is going to be the best game that the best team this Mountaineer team has played all season by a lot, at least in NACE. Fuel Esports currently 5-0. They've only dropped 1 map. They have also won a couple games off a forfeit because I guess I don't know, teams just want to join NACE and then just not play any games for some reason.
More power to them.
Yeah, but they have only lost 1 map all season. They are a very, very good team. From Fanshawe College, I believe in Ontario. So another Canadian team. We're actually it's a doubleheader for Canadian teams. We play St. Clair later. Wow.
Yeah. So many Canadian teams in NACE.
Hopefully this goes like Olympic hockey. So
Seriously.
yeah, they're on a roll. They have looked really, really good. This Mountaineer team has looked good as well when they play, but they haven't played that much.
Exactly. That's
At least
kind
in
of the
NACE,
issue.
they played a lot in other
like
leagues.
like
but-
CRL and so
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think this team, obviously dropping down from the Super Conference, like it's kind of weird to like see kind of where they're at in this league right now because, like you said, both these teams are undefeated. Mountaineers only played twice, and the 2 times they have played, they looked like perfect. But Fuel Esports kind of in the same boat as of now. They've only played a couple of games, and they've only dropped a single map the entire time. So honestly, this is going to be a really big game for like kind of deciding who really is a top dog in this conference. So this is kind of a battle, I would say, for the number 1 seed. I think whoever does take this, I don't see the other team getting back up to number 1, honestly. Like, I think this would be probably the only loss for either of these teams here in this conference. But
I think
don't
that is
know.
very likely. However, I did talk with some of the players downstairs to know a little bit more about these teams than we do. And they said that essentially there are 4 good teams. There are Western and Fuel, and then there are Akron, and there's Marshall. Marshall's varsity team is apparently pretty decent, and neither WVU or Fuel has played any of those teams so far. They've all played the Southeast Community College Baldwin Wallace teams, which don't put up much of a fight. So they were, concerns the wrong word, but they were much more kind of wary about the back half of this schedule because they play Fuel and then they play Akron and then they play Marshall, which are the 3 teams that they think are actually somewhat decent in Varsity Premier. So I do think it's I guess about as big of a gauntlet as you can have in a conference like that. I do think Fuel is probably the best of those teams. They are 5-0 right now. They haven't dominated, but again, I'll mention they haven't played any of those teams that we have been told are pretty good. I know that the Varsity Marshall team did take down the Mountaineers once in a different competition. So that will be a fun game when we get it in, I believe, a couple weeks. So this will be an interesting test for this team in NACE because they haven't played anyone really that good. But I am still very confident in this team. I think that they have gotten better as the season progressed. You get in a new player, you want as many reps as possible. They have been playing a lot in other leagues. So I think this is going to be a good spot for them to really show how much they've improved. And I'm taking the Mountaineers to win 3-1. They will lose Search and Destroy. They win everything else.
I agree 100% with that. Search and Destroy is going to be an ugly one, I think. I don't know exactly how good Fuel is like on certain game modes, but I do know how weak the Mountaineers are on Search and Destroy. So I think I'm going to take a 3-1. The Mountaineers have looked really dominant on every other objective or every other game mode, excluding Search and Destroy. Hopefully that's something they've kind of like gotten better on a little bit. I mean, I have to assume it's going to be a focus point of their, their scrims and everything like that. So we'll have to see how that pans out today. But I still don't think they're going to be a team like Fuel Esports on that mode. So I'm going to agree. Take a 3-1. I'm still pretty confident in the win, though, I'd say. So.
Yeah. And talking with the players, talking about Search and Destroy a little bit, they said the biggest issue with them was just their pace. Like sometimes they just aren't patient enough to win. Search and Destroy, I mean, we've seen them struggle in every single time they played it, even in the maps that they win against teams that they just stomp on hardpoint and overload. They take it's 6-4, 6-5 on Search and Destroy. They said it's more of like a pace issue, and that will get better as they get more comfortable with each other and as they kind of get to scrim it more. And it has been 3 weeks since we've seen them play in NACE, so I wouldn't be surprised if we will see some improvement on Search and Destroy, although I think, sometimes pace is just like a team identity thing.
Yeah.
Like this team likes to play fast. They like to play aggressive. And sometimes it's hard to like crank that up on hardpoint overload when you like want to be really fast, really aggressive. And then just immediately like next map, you have to completely change your pace. That can be very difficult to do for any team, just, because having such a stark difference in between maps can be like a bit of a mental block sometimes, just kind of being able to adjust like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if Search and Destroy is better, but I also would not be surprised to see if it's still like a map that we're going to see this team struggle on a little bit.
I agree. And currently in CCL, the only team that Mountaineers have lost to so far has been Cumberland, and that was a 3-0 loss.
That was also the first game they played as a team all year.
So there's got to be some salt sprinkled in there. I don't think that's necessarily a great showcase of what this team's able to do. At least not a 3-0 by any means. But Marshall, who's also in NACE, is currently undefeated along with Cumberland in CCL.
Marshall's way better than I thought they'd be.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll give some credit to the little brother for once, and I'll say that Marshall's not bad.
No,
that should be a super entertaining. I think it's the second to last game in the season for NACE, so that should be really, really fun to watch. Double check. Yes, March 18th, second to last game in NACE against Marshall, their varsity team. I think we played their JV team, and their JV team is understandably not nearly as good. That's why they're the JV team, obviously. Yeah. But
allegedly,
their varsity team.
The Mountaineers also lost to Southern Indiana Aviators. It's being verified right now in CCL. That was yesterday. I did forget about that.
Southern Indiana Aviators.
Yeah, they were the.
I like how their college name is like, you can be like, all right, so they're from South.
Yeah, I know
unlike
exactly
Southeast Community College.
Southeast.
Like, where is that?
Southeast.
It's in Nebraska. Southern Indiana, we know where you are.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
You.
Thank you for being specific and very geographically sound. I appreciate that.
Even Fuel Esports, that's just like their I guess their mascot name, or
in a sense,
it's name that they have for all their esports team. But like Fanshawe College, like that just sounds Canadian.
It really does.
That makes sense. It all checks out. But shout out for Southern Indiana for having your location in your college name. That's
and
nice.
for I think beating the Mountaineers as well, and then also the long-awaited Marshall versus WVU matchup in CCL is going to be March 10th, so 6 days from the clash of the Titans there. But I mean, I don't know. Right now, Marshall's undefeated. Mountaineers have 2 losses in CCL.
Yeah.
So currently, if I had to take a guess, Marshall's seeming to be the better team. We'll have to see how that plays out.
I believe they played twice and they're 1-1 against each other so far this season.
Well, we've played their second team, the green team.
We played their varsity. I was just talking to production downstairs. We played their varsity and I believe a LAN. And we beat them in groups and then lost them later on in the day. So against their varsity team, I believe we're 1-1. So
good to know.
Yep. Even so far, at the very least. But yeah, definitely excited for them later on. And then next week, Akron, who is always good and like everything because they're Akron. And then GMU COD, this team was kind of frisky. They're the one team that was able to take a map off of Fuel in week 1, George Mason. I wouldn't expect them to be kind of at the same threat level as a Marshall or an Akron or a Fuel, but I do think they are like kind of that in-between zone between those teams that I mentioned and Southeast Community College or what happened?
So in the Southern Indiana game that was yesterday, we actually choked a 2-0 lead. Sadly, we actually did take hardpoint and then took Search and Destroy, but somehow lost on overload, then lost on hardpoint.
We got blown out on hardpoint.
And then lost again on Search and Destroy. So I don't know what exactly happened between us blowing them out by 100 points in game 1 and then getting blown out by almost 200 points in game 4 on hardpoint. But something went awry. Ethan broke his thumb. I don't know what happened.
Something terrible has happened.
So yeah, bad 2-0 choke there. Southern Indiana currently 5-3, 6-3 with the win here. So not necessarily ideal.
Not ideal.
No.
Wow. Southern Indiana.
Shout out.
The reverse sweep. That's brutal.
That is brutal. We see that, I think, far too often in WVU sports.
It is what it is, bro. Like, and it's just like, we beat BYU a couple days ago, and like, oh my God, our tournament hopes are alive, and then we go and lose to Kansas State, who's like 1-14 in Big 12 play.
It's so horrible, man. Just such a inconsistent and everything, it seems sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, stuff happens, I guess. I honestly am interested to see if anything actually unironically happened because we really never lose. I don't think I've seen us lose Overload a single time, let alone by 3 points.
We've only played bad teams on stream on Overload though, and
That's
it was
true.
a blowout both times. So, when I talked with the team, they didn't seem like. I think from our point of view, it is just the fact that they have only played bad teams that we've seen them play in Overload. They didn't act super confident in Overload. Obviously, they're good enough to beat the teams that they should beat. But I mean, I guess Southern Indiana Aviators probably a little bit better than maybe they expected. Maybe just take them lightly after going up 2-0. But then
maybe.
I think there's got to be like a snapback to reality there after you lose Overload and you get blown on a hard point. But again, I mean, I do think maybe a big issue for this team down the road is going to be all the deciding games. Game 5s are just going to be search and destroy.
Yeah, it's a humongous. Like if they don't kind of get their act together on Search and Destroy, I sadly don't see this team making a deep playoff run because you're going to see those game 5s, and if you're always losing on Search and Destroy, you're always putting yourself in at least a 1-to-1 situation going into Overload. So unless you're winning every single hard point and then winning that Overload, you're just not gonna really get that far. So
you got to be able to win map 5s.
Yeah, at least win one of your Search and Destroys.
I guess it's just unlucky that map 5 turned out to be search and destroy, but at the same time, like, you just got to get better at search and destroy.
Yeah.
That can't be the excuse at the end of the season when you play the entire season and it's always been map 5.
Yeah,
that can be the excuse week 1.
Yeah.
It can't be the excuse in week 3 of the playoffs.
No.
Not at all. We should be getting a lobby any second. Seems like COD is always the one that just takes an extra 10 minutes.
Yeah, just take their time, get the hand warmers downstairs. Just sort of do some jumping jacks.
I know it's very rarely our fault. Like our players. No, they're usually locked in. Prod gets on them to
Oh yeah.
Get in the lobby, but I guess it's the Canadian teams. I guess
it's the ping.
St. Clair does the same
That'd be
thing.
the ping.
They're East Coast. It's like Ontario. Is Ontario East Coast?
Are they? Yeah,
like
Ontario
East-ish.
I think so.
Isn't Ontario the one that's like close to Buffalo?
I think so. Yeah, it is. Because you have
Hopefully.
Toronto, which is like super east, and then you have Ontario. And then I think Calgary
I
is
have a
like far
computer next to
west.
me. I can look this up. Is Ontario? I think it's.
I like how you look up maps and not just Ontario.
Well, yeah, I gotta find a map.
You gotta get in particular here.
Oh, well, Ontario's huge. So.
Oh, Ontario's not a city. It's a.
No,
okay.
It's a Providence.
Province, yeah.
But yeah, it is east-ish. It's all like.
Okay, wait. Okay, this makes no
Iowa
sense.
to
Okay,
the
so like,
east.
if they're from Ontario, that's a pretty big region to be from,
it's like
right?
saying I'm from the West Coast.
Yeah, I'm from like the Wisconsin, Oregon area.
Yeah, I'm from the Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, South Dakota, Nebraska, North Dakota area.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean?
I'm from the Midwest. We're the mid. Oh my God, they're
Yeah,
like the equivalent of the South. What are they called? The South Central Community College.
Yeah.
Just such a big,
guess
vast
so.
area.
Yeah, it's a big area. Yeah, but it is the one that is like right. Or I guess it's like half next to, and that and Quebec are like right next to like the border of New York,
Yeah.
Toronto, and so Toronto is in Ontario. Fun fact.
Okay, interesting. Wow, I thought Ontario was a city. I'm gonna be honest. So.
I'm actually good with geography normally, but I guess just not Canadian geography.
No, not really taught that.
I guess
What do you
not.
do? Now, but hey, the more you know. This is a university stream at the end of the day,
We're
so
really
you're gonna
trying to
learn
fill
something,
time
right?
here.
Huh?
We're really trying to fill time.
Gotta fill time. Gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. But looking forward, like we've done 6 times already, I mentioned Akron, Marshall, George Mason, the rest of the game. I think if you can get through this, the expectation has to be an undefeated season
I
because
agree.
the expectation can never be lose to Marshall. It can never be that.
No, not at all.
No. We'll never hear the end of that. So I think this is kind of like the you know, in like those storyboard things that you make, and like it's like the rising action. Like this is the climax of the season,
Yes, this is the climax.
and then
We're
the
on
falling action
for
is
the rest of the
stomping
time.
Marshall, and then we just go back up again for the playoffs.
I agree. I think that's the mode, because like next week we have Akron, and I mean Akron is a good team, to be fair. Philly Sports also are they already had a forfeit next week against TSU Heat
Well,
Black.
TSU is already 0-8 in the
Yeah.
season. They forfeited every game.
I don't
It
understand.
doesn't make sense. It happens
yeah.
like every year
Why-
in one NACE league for one of our teams. It's like
Yeah.
By week 2, I checked the same. There's a team that's
Was it
0-9.
Ball State last year?
No,
Last
it
semester?
was like, I think it was.
Was it
It was like a big team last year.
Yeah, it was a
and
decently large team.
it-
I thought it was Ball State. Am I tweaking?
I don't think Ball State.
No, you're right. It was Ball
Are you
State.
talking about? I think in Rocket League it was Maryville.
It was there was a couple. There's too
think-
many to really like pinpoint down
Yeah,
who.
that's true.
I don't understand the point.
The memory's a tad foggy, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's every season.
It's
Why-
every
why
single
join
season.
the
Some
league?
team, they sign up, they go through the process, they get the players ready, and the players are like, nah, I'm good.
Why join
I'm
the
chilling.
league if you're just going to quit immediately?
Maybe something horrible happened. Maybe the program got cut and we're dissing them and they're sitting at home and they're like, darn, I wish I could play.
Yeah, that if that happened, apologies.
Apologies for sure.
Sorry, Tennessee State.
Stuff happens.
All right. Well, we're going to set into a quick break while we get into this map one because we're out of things to say. But we will be right back in just a few minutes, and we will get right into the game.
Alrighty, we are back here for only our third stream of Call of Duty in this entire NACE season, which, like you said, is very surprising and also very much of a letdown, because I do quite like seeing this COD team just destroy.
Once I've started winning again, it's been really entertaining to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Black Ops 7 just much more fun to watch because the maps are prettier. And
Yeah,
they don't
and
all
honestly,
look
it's
like
just,
sand.
I like not like having the same two guns. I mean, there's definitely a meta, obviously, but like
Yeah, I mean,
you're seeing more
snipers
variety.
get used now.
Yeah,
Like,
snipers, pistols, a lot more variety in a lot of these like loadouts. And this map is something we do see quite a lot. But I think it's still a fun map to watch. But Davey gonna get that first blood already onto Crib. Ethan gonna go down as well. Two Mountaineers already dropping. Currently Fuel off to a very hot start.
Look at
Able to
Tables.
hold it down. 3 picks for him.
Wait, did they fix the kill feed?
There's a chance. I haven't seen it mess up yet. That'd be huge if they fix the kill feed. Crib lands some shots. Not gonna do enough though. And Fuel's gonna cap their first 12 points here of the series.
Tables did a lot
my
there. Getting
goodness.
4 all on his own. It's going to be a nade from Ethan. Strikes another one as well. Bonk trying to find something, but Ethan takes him out. And it's going to be a quick 4-piece there for the Mountaineers. And they're going to take this right back. Fuel only getting up to 4 there. And now looks like they're going to try and do one little last breath attempt here to contest it. Looks like not, as the Mountaineers going to ride that all the way out to about 30 points. As Harpo's going to flip back over. Tables another nade kill. It's going to be 2 quick nade kills early on in this game for the Mountaineers. Harpo will flip over and again right back to control West Virginia.
Yeah, so far Mountaineers taking a very solid start. A lot of heroics coming in. A lot of times we're seeing Fuel kind of win the team fight, but just the last Mountaineer able to stick it through. Come out on top, Mini gets one. Can he get the second one here in the hard point? Yes, he can. Domination now going here over to Fuel. Trying to climb up to their first 10 points of the match. Mini cannot find the last one though. And once again, Crib finding another one. Can he get one? Yes, he can!
Finally! Oh my goodness. It almost happened so many times last week. Just 5 in a row. Why not just an 8-player kill streak for Crib? Oh my goodness. Finally happened.
You love to see it. You really do. Crib always doing what he does best of just killing everything. Oh my goodness, this guy! What is
going on? Just 11 in a row. What? Oh yeah, he's getting active now. He is absolutely
He's feeling
it.
himself. He is 100% feeling himself now. And
They don't even care about the hard point anymore. It's just about. Oh, never mind. Crib falls. And Ethan killed Strike. But it doesn't matter. The Mountaineers are going to ride that to a 50-point lead here already. An 11-player kill streak for Crib. Oh my goodness. We've not seen that before ever, I don't think.
No, I don't think. Crib has been playing a lot of Black Ops 7, I'll say that. This guy does not know anything else but this game, and it's coming to life here. Mountaineers still able to hold this thing down. Davey picks up one with a grenade on the table. Strikes in the fall as well, but Ethan holding this in on the right side with the rifle. One pick comes through. A lot of sweeps. Crib finds 2 as well, and once again,
just
Mountaineers
finds 3 again.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, why not? Just 14 and 3 already.
Yeah, just kind of
just
just carrying
ridiculous.
right now, in all honesty. Solo carry.
It's
This
just
is absolutely
ridiculous. All the other Mountaineers, no, not really. I mean, everyone's at least neutral. Maybe that's the second team kill from Ethan. Ethan's got to stop killing his teammates.
Yeah, seriously. Ethan finds another one there. Crib actually almost got that 360 there at the end. That was honestly insane. Ethan does find 2 more as well. This rifle
And
is...
this is going to be like a 6-0 hardpoint for the Mountaineers as well. I mean, they are just coming out to a blazing start. We thought Fuel was going to be the biggest challenge they were going to face all season, but Snell going out right now is Fuel will be able to kind of get control of this next one as it opens up to try and cut into this lead. But 114 already for this Mountaineer team so early in this game. Crib, the wallbang kill over there onto Bonk. He's going to take this high ground, try and find a better angle of approach.
Pablo reload as well, but right now Fuel finally able to catch up ever so slightly here. The snake does not come through. It's found in the grass. Incredible fall. Bonk can't find the head glitch there, and once again, Fuel still able to hold this down. Strike trying to come on this right side. He's got a couple players, and now the full rush coming in here from Mountaineers, but somehow, some way, it's completely thwarted. And Fuel remains strong here on the hard point. Still kicking.
Now it's Strike coming here on the flank. He was a fine one. Gets traded out though. Crib trying to find one. Tables gets another one, and the Mountaineers are going to be able to stop the bleeding for now. They're going to take control for these last few seconds on this hard point, get to around 120. But Fuel did a really good job there of cutting out into the deficit. It was almost to the point where it was like, man, is this game going to be over pretty quickly? But Fuel showing some time to life here, but it's going to be Crib getting 2. Can he find another one? Yes, he can. Absolutely. Of course he can. Why couldn't he? Crib does get a couple, but he is going to fall, and that's going to be Fanshawe once again taking back over control at a hard point.
Yeah, right now, I mean, Fanshawe has had these last 2 hard points down locked. They've gotten on early, and they really haven't got off much. You know, Crib still popping off here. 18 and 8 shots are going to land again. Almost another one. Mini, though, gets flanked. The Mountaineers not contesting this hard point. Going to regain control. 50-point lead still in their possession. Trying to extend that here. Sun rocks out. Going to prove to be too much there for Bonk. And this has been a pretty good hard point. This P1 has been successful right now for the Mountaineers. Good take there by Fanshawe, but South is going to come and clean up the rest. And the Mountaineers still holding on to this 50-point lead, but it is slowly dwindling.
It looks like they're content with giving up these last few seconds to try and set up for this next hard point. We'll be flipping over to second. Strike's able to find one onto Sus there, so the Mountaineers can maybe try to play with man advantage. Tables gets one as well, but Strike falls for Manny. Tables, though, getting 2 there. Tables having a sneaky, really good game for herself. Already up to 15 kills there for Tables. So the Mountaineers are going to try and collapse here on this hard point as it opens up. Fuel still kind of, you know, able to maintain right now, and Bonk finding 2. That's going to be absolutely massive for them as they're going to be approaching this 100-point mark. They have cut the deficit in half.
Ooh,
in this game with Ethan. And Strike as well. 3 grenade kills really quickly there for the side of the Mountaineers, but they're not really able to get much capture point on it. I guess they are going to be able to hop on now. And Crib gets 2, Strike gets another, and the Mountaineers are once again able to stabilize.
Yeah, and a necessary one there. Big, you know, firefight going on for solid 20 seconds. Mountaineers not really able to gain control. Sus forced down to 4 HP from the nade. Ethan and Strike are going to clean up house, so the Mountaineers are going to probably take these last 10 seconds of the hard point back at that 50-point lead once again. And this is a hard point here. This P3 was held pretty well last time around. Fuel going to try to get an early push in like they have multiple times. It's going to work out their favor as Bonk's going to clean up. And Fuel's going to have full control here over this hard point early on. The Mountaineers are stacking, waiting to retake. It's going to come in really soon. These nades have been landing so fluently for this Mountaineer squadron. A head glitch from Davey. He's going to take out Ethan, and once again, Fuel's actually kind of leaving the hard point right now. They're not choosing to really play on it. They're kind of playing this backside to try to regain control and just kind of make the Mountaineers do not get this flood in, but it's not really going to work in their favor right now. Strike's going to peek this right side. Tables not sliding in. He gets his last kill. No, he cannot. Sus comes in as a reinforcement. But still, looks like they are going to take it as Crib will fall to find 2 in the process.
Find 2 to give us a little bit of breathing room. Tables finding another, but there's just so much firepower out on that objective. It's so hard for anyone to live on it for more than just a few seconds. Tables just going to prone here on the corner to try and get some capture point down. But Blanc comes in from the flank, and Fuel's going to ride that into a few more points before it switches over. They actually just abandoned it pretty early there. I believe that's Ethan, yeah, able to find one, and immediately as soon as it flips over, the Mountaineers back in control. They just need around 70 more points here to take this game 1. Fuel still has not reached the halfway.
Yeah, Fuel's got, I mean, they've had a couple good hard points here, you know, where they've kind of gained control early on. They've been able to stabilize and stay on point a lot, but right now a lot of their retakes really aren't proven to be that successful, and they're going to need one here. The Mountaineers are closing in on this 250-point threshold. This hard point is going to get them super close if they're able to hold it for a long time. Strike right now stunned, trying to make something work. The slide doesn't come through, but the clean is going to come through from West Virginia, and they're still able to hold this down. Crib has the SMG. He's been popping off all day long. 31 and 15 right now. Make it 32 and 15. Crib unstoppable as of now. Mountaineers still holding possession of this hard point. 1 more hard point, and they will take this game.
I mean, it's just, I mean, and Crib's just going to find 5 there as it finally falls, but other Mountaineers are going to be approaching that 230-point threshold. It's almost doubling Fuel's score there. So they're still at only 112, and I mean, it's just been an onslaught so far. Crib has 35 kills. It's just ridiculous. The Mountaineers are just knocking on the door here for a game 1 victory. It's just going to be 15 points now is all that's going to separate them. They can very well do it right here on this hard point. It's going to be Strike and Crib manning a Strike, trying to find one. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Crib finds another. The Fuel is running out of players. Crib gets the trade, does get taken out though, but I mean, it's just 5 seconds left. Can Fuel get on the point? Davey's going to try him out. He will get a grenade kill. That's absolutely massive. And we'll stop the Mountaineer capture point for the time being, but Ethan finding 2. The Mountaineers just have to keep their toe in it for just 1 more second, and they will be able to do just that as the Mountaineers dominate in game 1
Wow. What a spot from Ethan there at the end, just holding that high ground, kind of watching over the entire hard point. I think we know exactly who's just going to be at the end. The best play is going to go to Crib, as we knew. I mean, come on. I believe this is the 4K.
Yeah, this was the fabled quad feed that eluded us week after week.
Yeah, actually more like a 5-piece here. I think he gets one more here at the end. Yeah, I mean, absolutely insane.
Why not? 3,700 damage as well.
Wow. This guy's just simply different, as we see time and time again throughout these games. I mean, this guy has dominated every single matchup, top frag, every single game. So, I mean, 23 objective kills as well. So he's, really helping out. A lot of those retakes that were successful really were off the back of him, just kind of going in, getting 2, getting 3, and just really making it really hard for Fuel Esports to try to stabilize once they, do gain that hard point. So going into this game 2 now on Search and Destroy.
And when you have one player that just has the high end like that, all you have to do as a teammate is just maintain, get your one, and don't just die for nothing. If you die, make sure that the teammates there to get traded. And the Mountaineers, especially in the second half of that game when they really started to blow up the score, they were able to do that. It seemed like anytime any Mountaineer fell, there was always someone to get the trade. The rest of the Mountaineers were hovering right around even, which is that's all. When Crib is going 38 and 17 or whatever it was, all you need to do is go even. That's it.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna coast to victories. We just saw the Mountaineers do. You don't need everyone to put on a light show every single game. You just need, 1 or 2 players every other map, and all of a sudden, COD becomes a whole lot easier, and the Mountaineers did a great job of showcasing that there. So now we're going to head to Search and Destroy. We both picked them to lose this map. We both picked them to win at a 3-1. We both picked them to win a hard point, so we're good.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. But I'm really interested because it has been a while since we've seen them. How different does Search and Destroy look? I'm interested to see what map they go to.
I
remember on Raid, they just looked really bad. That was week 1. A lot of things have changed. They've probably gotten more comfortable on these maps. They've probably had the chance to scrim these maps more. I'm interested to see, because they talk about pace being such a big issue for Search and Destroy because they just go too fast.
Right.
And, obviously with no respawns, it just kind of takes like 1 or 2, times where you kind of overcommit and die early to, lose an entire round. But at the same time, how much of that can you really change your identity of the team map over map? So I think it's interesting to see.
It is, and I'm very interested to see how this is, like you said, kind of changed up, if they've worked on certain aspects, what map they're going to pick. Honestly, I mean, ever so slightly, I'm kind of maybe now thinking this is going to go a bit better than I thought, just with how dominant Crib was and the team in general was there on Hardpoint. I don't know if they're going to come out on top here on Search and Destroy, but I think they're going to look better than they have all season long. At least I'm hopeful in that regard. So I don't know. We'll see. And then obviously, if they do take this here, I'm pretty confident they'll end it on a 3-0. They've played really, really well in basically every other game mode outside of Hardpoint, or sorry, not Hardpoint, Search and Destroy. So if they do win this, this is going to be a quick series.
Yeah, I think Overload, despite losing to Southern Illinois Aviators. Yeah. Despite that, I do think this team, they just look so strong in Overload. I get that they've only played bad teams that we've seen them, but in a lot of their other CCL games, they are winning Overload 7-2 and stuff like that. So I think after Hardpoint went, I would give Fuel almost no chance of able to come out and win with that. I think they have to win Search and Destroy, and then they have to really scrap together on the map, and then just pray you get to a map 5.
Yeah, that's really the only chance you really do have, but. Admittedly here, I'm hoping for a 3-0 because the Mountaineers have really got to tidy up their Search and Destroys because if they don't, it's going to be a really big issue come playoff time. But right now, I mean, Fuel Esports, we don't really know how good they are on this game mode. If they are as good as their record says, this might be an issue. But right now, the Mountaineers are looking really in their own groove, just kind of playing their best.
I think it's fair to say after game 1, a little bit of fraud watch.
Yeah, a bit, yeah.
Played a bunch of bad teams and got to 5-0. But if you get dominated in this, then, fraud watch is on the table.
Patriots schedule.
True.
Mountaineers are the Seahawks. Ethan already cooking up a nade. We're going to go down immediately. A very aggressive start here. Crib going to get the refrag. Even the score out once again. Table's going to pick up the bomb. Super aggressive start here from Fuel. Now we're kind of seeing, look at the spacing on the map. Philly Sports very spaced out. Davey just kind of sitting and waiting over on A. We're seeing Sus kind of take that mid section. Mountaineers playing their time. A minute left for them to try and make a decision here. I am so surprised that Fanshawe kind of played that aggressively off rip. I do not think Ethan expected to swing into 2 guns firing down on him. We're seeing Crib, though, slowly walk up. Fanshawe was in this window earlier on, but they chose to kind of get away. The Mountaineers probably looking for one more pick before sliding in to try to get a plant down. But I don't know if Fuel's going to even give them that chance.
They're definitely patient.
It'll be a really tough angle for Crib to swing here. He's going to get a bit of information. Mountaineers, not a lot of time really to work with right now. They're going to have to just hit a sight and hope and pray it goes well. Strike's going to go down. Mini finds him. Tables is going to get this plant down, hopefully, but the angle might come through on this right side. Teammates not really there to watch. Crib still alive. Can he pull the 1v3 off? It would be a miracle if he could. He cannot. Simply too many rifles in his way. And a really good start here from Fuel.
Really good start. I mean, as you mentioned, there's a couple things that immediately stick out to you. One, can the Mountaineer win condition on Search and Destroy just be Crib is going to win every gunfight he's in if it's a 1v1? And can you just play to win off that? And if you're Fuel and you recognize that, do you play stacked and you don't give him a chance to fight those 1v1s? Do you just play kind of 2 a site, or do you just kind of stack mid and play for early rotations? I think that's going to kind of be in the back of their mind here. I think West Virginia is going to have to try and find a way to exploit that, because he just sometimes when your best player has the hot hand, you really have to play into that. And I kind of want to see, like, I understand the patience here, but with how good Crib just played on hardpoint, I want to see him get into a lot of these gunfights besides just, being a 1v3 at the end of the round when you have no chance. Yeah,
exactly. Ethan's actually going to pick up the sniper here on defense. I'm really interested to see how aggressive they... Oh, my goodness. Ethan is getting overwhelmed right now. Able to get out with 7 HP. Wow. Surprised he actually was able to get out of that situation alive. Table's going to hold this down. This could be a really sticky situation here for Fanshawe. Stun's going to go to try to deny some time and get their health back. Table's... Look at this regen. Bravo. Picking up this bomb. It's going to be planted over at A. So Fanshawe getting an early plant down. Mountaineers now playing in a 4v4 post-plant scenario. This is very different from how the Mountaineers attacked last round. Sus going to grab that first blood onto Ethan, make it 2 on a strike. Table is trying to just walk up slowly with this windows tightly guarded. This will catch Fanshawe severely off guard, though. Sus is going to go down. Tables might get this kill, and he will. Slides out, might get away the time. Defuse going to come in, sticking it.
No chance.
Such a ballsy play here. The Simtex doesn't kill him, and he still goes down to the process. Somehow, some way, Bravo.
A bold strategy. He got about halfway there, but we weren't going to see a repeat of what Leone did a few weeks ago.
No.
And the Mountaineers, they're definitely being patient. They're definitely taking their time. They're definitely not being over-aggressive. But at the same time, when you're just going to kind of wait until the 30-second mark to commit, you're really it's kind of just going to be a coin flip every time, because it's who's going to walk to the other person's sight line first and get shot in the back, or who's going to kind of make that early mistake. And I think with how good this team played, I think they can afford to be a little bit more aggressive than how they're being right now.
They can. I think we're seeing Fuel be super duper aggressive on both offense and defense, and it's working out for them. And the Mountaineers, with how they win their gunfights time and time again. We saw that earlier on Hardpoint. They need to kind of play into that strength of theirs of just playing super aggressive, playing super fast. And we're kind of seeing it here as they're already on the site, Crib being a spearhead of this operation. And this is exactly what you want to see. This could end in a round win. We're seeing this is exactly what Fuel did last round. It's going to play a 4v4 post plant. And odds are it'll probably work out in their favor, but the bomb is not down as of yet. Tables has the bomb. It's now going to get the plant down. So Fanshawe, in the same boots the Mountaineers were in last round, can they capitalize and do something differently?
It seems like in almost every match we've done so far for COD, there are a ton of 4v4 post plants.
There really are, yeah.
It seems to be kind of less of a priority for the defending team to stop the plant rather than just kind of win the retake.
Oh my goodness.
And that's not going to help when Ethan finds 2 there. Sus and Manny both falling on the Mountaineers. Going to play their man advantage here for these last 20 seconds, and able trying to find something there on the throne, but is able to find one, and there's just 10 seconds left here. That grenade is going to land close to him. I thought it was going to go off too. I thought that was going to blow himself up. But the Mountaineers take their first there on attack. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be as much of a priority for a lot of these teams to defend the actual bomb plant.
Yeah. I mean, I'm honestly surprised. Like, I think a lot of times here in COD, when the TTK really is so quick, trying to, waste time and hold off, you don't really have that much util like you have in, like a Valorant or anything like that. So you can't really, deny a full-blown push. Your best option a lot of times, I think, is just to kind of back out, play with your team, try to do the retake. But both times that's happened, the retake has not been very successful because you're kind of able to hold so many sight lines and just play crossfires. So it's a rough scenario for sure. Crib, oh my goodness, had the timing there, but the shots were a little bit off. And once again, the first ball's going to go to Fanshawe. Bonk has a lot of space right now, but this is a tough spot for him to be in. Yep, the nade's going to come in.
Though, the nade.
Beautiful nade. Cooked it to perfection. Called him Gordon Ramsay. 3v3 now once again. Mountaineers, though, playing this slower, along with Fanshawe. Fanshawe on their offense is so far really, really aggressive. Davey does have the space over on B to maybe get a plant down if Fanshawe's going to try to rotate over. But Strike is still in the area, still a thorn in their boots, and it looked like they're going to kind of rotate out. Maybe go over towards this A side as many. He's going to get this plant down. It worked out last time on A. And the Mountaineers win this post plant once again, a 3v3 this time. So a little bit less angles for them to watch.
But Tables might walk right into Sus here if he doesn't check this corner, and he doesn't. Sus is able to find 2. Actually, he finds 0, but Manny finds both. Sus with a little bit of a whiff there, but looks like it might not add or strike in a 1v3, able to find 1, but it's not going to be enough. And Fuel take round 4 rather convincingly. Once again, they just got that bomb down, and the Mountaineers in this post-plant situation struggled. I mean, they failed to check the corners. It didn't even really matter.
It really, he kind of did some chuckle damage there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he actually did not get a kill. Sus picked up both of them. Now, they were weakened, of course, but, you know, still not finding one there is definitely surprising. But Mountaineers, I mean, so far, just on defense, looking very bad. Crib was able to take some space over on mid, but they just didn't, you know, he just didn't really do much as he was kind of outnumbered, outgunned. So I'm interested to see how the Mountaineers take this offense now. They're going to just hit another really fast B hit, looking like that's going to be the case. Just taking a bunch of space, walking up, maybe getting a little info now. Smoke's going to go down to try to assist in this plant. Tables has the bomb. He's waiting, trying to see if a nade's going to come through. So far, nothing.
But now Bonk is going to cook it, and they have to be careful. That could be big. Doesn't quite tag anybody, though.
Yeah, nothing coming through. Davey does have LOS on this main. He's trying to wait for something. Oh, the timing was not in his favor. Tables, you don't peek this, do you? Oh, you do. Unfortunate. Davey's going to take off Tables' head and get out with his life.
The Mountaineers are pretty pushed up here if they can. But, I mean, there's just a sniper rifle holding that angle. They have to know that. It's going to be so dangerous to push here. They do have control of B, though, if they decide to go for the flank, but they're going to get aggressive. Ethan and Crib both find theirs. They're able to walk out with their life, and now the Mountaineers have flipped the man advantage over to their side, and the bomb will go down.
I honestly love that play. Not getting up the space that you already have and taking advantage of it. Mini on this backside is going to pick up 1, barely any help to work with here. Can they try to push him before he regens? Yes, they will. Mountaineers now in a 2v1 scenario. This is a must-win for them to not go down 1-4. Sus gets some shots in his location now. A couple bullets will land.
He needed to find that kill. It was a really good job by the Mountaineers just surviving, playing for info, playing for time.
They don't have to peek right now. They don't have to do anything. Everything's on their advantage. They have to just wait for Sus to push up. They're going to have the swing, and they're going to get it. Beautifully executed there. 2-3 now. The Mountaineers still in this, still fighting, even on their worst mode, admittedly.
They look much better on attack, but they're still initiated because they lost the first. They're going to have to win a defense.
Yes.
At some point, because they lost the first attack. You can't just kind of, you know, trade attack for attack. So the Mountaineers are going to have to find a way, and the defenses have not been pretty or close.
No, not at all.
But I did like the aggressiveness there. I like that play. Said not giving up their space. Just, you know, sometimes when you are a player down, you can't really kind of play for time and you know, play for your bomb play for angles. So you have to kind of get aggressive to try and swing that back in your favor, and they were to do that round.
And to see if Crib's going to actually just sort of stay here, or if he's going to try to back up, wait for the team. Looking like he's going to try to block. Tables is there with him now. Both kind of cooking their nades up, trying to get a little bit of damage. Maybe a kill off. Flak Jacket's going to make that really difficult for them, though. It's looking like Crib might actually have a really good angle on his left side right here. Almost going to get this guy planting as well, but getting super aggressive. And now forced pop smoke. And actually, he's not going to run away. He's trying to hide in this corner right now. Tables get some shots up. Ethan's going to pick up 1 as well. 4v2 now. Fanshawe falling apart slowly. 0 space to work with. Bonk's going to pick up Crib, though, trying to get out, make an escape here. Ethan, no, on his backside on a killing spree. finds so much value. The Mountaineers finally win a defense in a very convincing fashion. I loved how they just took that space so aggressively. Fanshawe was forced to back up, and the flank proved to be lethal.
And it all just kind of opened up with a good timing that Crib had on that Fuel player. Got a pretty free kill, and it was just kind of able to survive through the fire and through the nades there. Had to smoke himself off, but then the Mountaineers, as you mentioned, did a good job playing with that man advantage. And Ethan on a 5-player kill streak right now over these last 2 rounds, really showing up when the Mountaineers needed him. And now they are able to kind of win that defense that I mentioned, are able to get it back to 3-3. And now back on attack where they've been much, much better so far today.
Yeah, playing very well there in that last round. Ethan's 8-3 right now, which is insane. Playing so very well. Mountaineers even in the scoreboard here. They're most likely going to do a similar take here and just kind of run up towards A this time, as we're kind of seeing 2 defenders already lurking around A. That was very close. The window player's going to go down. They will get a trade. Ethan is so very low, 4 health. Luckily, not going to go down there. Strike taking advantage.
That's a humongous kill there from Strike. Look at all the map space the Mountaineers have now.
Yeah, this is going to be really hard for Fanshawe to retake this, especially with the man down. They have no space to work with. They're going to have to play together, and they're going to do that. The Mountaineers could be isolated here. Fanshawe going to be isolated some 2v1s. They could swing the tide back in their favor, but they're going to split up. So Ethan's going to be able to isolate a 1v1 rifle fight here, and it's not going to go with Fanshawe. All up to Davey, and he will go down.
That's 2 more for Ethan. Make it a 7-player kill streak for him as the Mountaineers string together 3 in a row there. Gonna head back over to defense. And that, I mean, it looks like a completely different team for this first couple rounds here in terms of destroying. A lot of that's just gonna have to come to. I mean, Ethan just got 7 kills in 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's just gonna be enough.
It's hard to win when you're, not dying, or hard to lose when you're just not dying.
True. Very true.
Right now, though, Fanshawe, kind of losing themselves. I didn't like the split up there at the end. You're already down, and you're gonna isolate yourself into taking 1v1 gunfights. I don't know if that's necessarily the play there when you do have, you're both together on that side. Someone's gonna be playing window, and it just did not really work out. Mountaineers now knocking at the door in a sense of taking this game. Table's gonna play mid. I don't know if he knows that player is
timing here.
Left side.
And he will get, Tables falls early.
A good opening pick here for Fuel. Some may have been missing his past couple of rounds. The nade might land. No, it will not. Ethan, though, has the Hellfire missile and takes one down in the process. A huge pickup there for him. Ethan now on a 7 streak, 11-3 on the round. Oh my goodness, these rifle shots are hitting so well right now. Not a lot of health to work with here. Sadly, he will fall. The M15's been his best friend. It's all
Crib in a 1v2 though. We've seen him in some 1v3s. This one is much, much more winnable. Fuel doesn't have the information really on where he is right now, so he can maybe catch one by surprise and try and isolate some 1v1s here.
Ooh, they are going to play together though here. Oh, he's going to be asked. Nope.
Wow, good shots there. Really good shots over the side of Fuel. They will tie it up 4 apiece. Ethan, I believe that was a 9-player kill streak from him, but eventually, finally, he failed. I mean, Hellfire missiles in the kill streaks in certain story are just so rare, and they're just so much more impactful.
Oh, yeah.
I'm honestly shocked that the Mountaineers were able to get a kill streak, get a kill with it, and still lost the round.
Yeah, I think that that immediate pick on mid definitely did not help a lot. I do like the use of the Hellfire missile there, trying to even out the score a little bit, but sadly the flank just didn't really come in. The timings weren't really on their side. Just an unfortunate round for sure, and Fanshawe was able to take space and play that space very well, and honestly just kind of win their gunfights in most cases. And now we're going to see possibly a really aggressive B hit here. Striker's kind of watching this mid side. Me trying to cook some nades up, but the trophy system's going to deny anything from coming on in. Smoke grenade's going to go down, kind of bait out some nades, possibly bonk another one. Finding this opening kill is going to be huge for Fanshawe. Trying to deny this pack. Big nade. Then he's going to tank it though. And right now the Mountaineers might be just choosing to possibly back out of this B hit, but there's a flanker waiting for them. It's going to be bonk. Lying. Ethan might know he's there. The head glitch is too strong. Sadly, he'll get taken down from the refrag. And now a 2v3 Tables and Strike playing shoulder to shoulder. Looking to walk their way over to A with time winding down. But the flank coming in from O'Davy, they're going to have to try to get inside as fast as they possibly can, and they will.
So going to be vulnerable from the window, and Davey is going to deny that plant. And it's going to be Crib once again. He always finds himself in these 1v2, 1v2 scenarios. Sorry, Strike, not even Crib this time. But he will not matter. The Mountaineers fall once more. And I mentioned last map how when you have one player that is just on a tear, dominating like we saw Crib was and like we saw Ethan is now, your responsibility as a teammate there is just to be neutral.
Be neutral.
Be nothing.
Be Switzerland.
Exactly. Just sometimes you just have to be able to be carryable.
Yeah,
you know what I
just
mean?
win your ones, and that's all you got to do.
And win your ones or get traded every single time. And right now, the rest of this Mountaineer team is not pulling their weight. I mean, we see Ethan 12-5. He's doing everything he can, but the rest of the Mountaineers are letting him down right now.
Yeah, I am interested to see if this is like, is this the Mountaineers being better at searching ashore than usual, or is this Ethan just fragging out? You know, I don't know if this is like if this is a team thing or this is Ethan just having a really good time right now, just playing so very well. Tables will fall. And that is once again another first blood. That's been 3 or 4 rounds in a row where Fanshaw's taken first blood. And a lot of these rounds have gone in their favor because of it. It's really hard to play down a man so early on in the rounds. Looks like Strike might go down the process as well. Crib's going to find his one to even it back out. That's a huge play from Crib. A necessity right now as they are on this match point. But now the rest of the Fanshawe team is going to group up on this beat. It looks like they're just trying to lie in wait and get this plant down. So now a 3v3 post-plant scenario. We've seen so many of these Strike. Oh my goodness, 1 second away from getting an easy kill there and possibly even denying the plant. Wasn't able to get the timing though. Ethan's gonna be on this flank. Check his corners, there's just too many people to play around, and oh my goodness, the shots land for many. And now Strike is all up to him. He finds one to keep Search and Destroy alive, to keep the series lead. But time is not in his favor at all.
And the rotations are going to come through from Fuel, and he's going to get a shot in his side. And that will be it. Fuel's able to rally after that little spurt from the Mountaineers in those middle couple rounds, but they're able to regroup in the last few rounds. We're not really that close. Fuel's going to take it 6-4. Tied the series, as you mentioned, 1-1. And I mean, that's an interesting way that I didn't think I'd see the Mountaineers lose. I thought if one of the win contentions for this team is just, as we saw in game 1, just have someone just play out of their mind.
Yes.
And Ethan, I guess, well, 9 of his kills were kind of in that stretch where the Mountaineers were winning a lot. So, I mean, I guess you could say that. But, I mean, with how well he played, I'm honestly shocked that the Mountaineers weren't able to capitalize. And it was just kind of like a lot of missed opportunities there when, and then early in those gunfights as well.
Yeah.
It was a lot of falling down one. We talk about how important it is to kind of, first bloods and be able to play with Man Advantage and Valorant. It's just definitely more important to this because there are less players. 100%. You are at a 25% player advantage instead of a 20% in Valorant. So, I mean, and Fuel is kind of always able to kind of find that first pick. Those initial gunfights seem to always go their way, and they did a good job of writing that out into a victory. And now they've got ourselves back into a game. We're going to head over to Overload.
Yeah, so, I mean, now going on Overload, I mean, this has been a pretty solid staple win every single time for the Mountaineers. They did lose this yesterday. Obviously in that 0-2 reverse sweep that they did falter to. But I don't think they're going to lose this right now. I mean, this is kind of the predictions we had are still kind of hitting, and they're currently on point.
Well, we're both 2-0 right now in our predictions.
Yes. So I think they're going to close it out here, if I'm going to be honest. Hardpoint was very dominant earlier on. We saw Crib popping off with the Javik, and I think it's going to continue in round 4. Here in round 3, I don't know if yesterday was just a hiccup on Overload or if it's actually like something that's changed in their play style. But right now, Fuel Esports did look pretty solid there on Search and Destroy. Mountaineers did keep it close for the majority of the time. So I have them definitely taking Overload, but I don't really know how it's going to turn out to get there.
I'd be very concerned if they lost this.
I would be too.
Then I think you're almost guaranteed to go to a map 5, and that is probably going to be the biggest weakness of this Mountaineer team all season is their ability to win map 5s because, obviously stakes are higher and on your worst map type. So I think that almost is going to make Overload like a must-win game mode for them every single week.
Yes.
Because then, Hardpoint, you're kind of expecting to win because of how strong you looked on it so far this season. I mean, but again, we just saw them. We'll mention the Southern Indiana whatever game again, where they
Aviators.
dominated
Yeah.
in their first hardpoint game, and then they got smoked by like 200 points in their second
Yes.
hardpoint game. And I mean, is there kind of a turning point? Because we see them win game 1, and then we see them lose game 2, and then it seems like everything now is just kind of riding on overload. It really is just kind of every single week. It just seems that they are gonna like live or die off of this map type, and then it's going to be a struggle map 4 if they're able to win, or sorry, and if they end up losing overload, it's going to be a struggle on map 4 on hardpoint. They just seem to kind of play worse on their second hardpoint if they lose overload, and then obviously if they get to a map 5, it's search and destroy. So it's just going to kind of be a rinse repeat. Overload might be a must win every single week.
I think it is going to be a must win until they get their search and destroy kind of back to where it needs to be. At least where you can like go 1-to-1 on your search and destroys. Either you're winning that second match or you're winning that last crucial game 5. Because like you said, if you are basically never going to be able to win a game 5, you're not going to go anywhere. And they've got to tidy that up. Because if you're going to lose on overload, then it's over. Your series is done.
Yeah. If you're not confident at all in game 5, then yeah, exactly. Game 3 and games 4 and games like pretty much anytime they're on hardpoint or overload, if they are continued to like kind of be like just a way lesser version of this that's on search and destroy, it just puts so much more pressure on them on these game modes where they should win, they're expected to win, they think they're going to win, but all of a sudden if one of those game modes goes the wrong way, then all of a sudden you're kind of spiraling in that series. And I mean, we saw it happen in CCL just this week. So I think that's going to have to be something that they need to address. I think they looked better on search and destroy. This is the best thing they played all year in NACE, and they were able to get to 4. But again, it was just kind of because in 3 rounds, I think Ethan got like 7 or 8 kills.
Yes, exactly. So I don't know if that's going to be like that's not something that you can like rely on time and time again. I think the only reason that really was that close was because of how much he was just popping off. Because like I said, you can't rely on that. That's not going to happen every single time.
It can't be your win condition.
No.
Of just hoping that Ethan or Crib or Tables or Strike just gets 3 around.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, no, it's just not going to work like that. And looks like there's going to be a little bit of delay in heading into this map 3. I think we're going to head to a very quick break, and then we'll be right back with Overload. Oh, never mind.
Never mind. We're going right now. No need for a break.
Never mind.
All good. All right, here we go. All right, jumping into a crucial Overload. Same map as before. Mountaineers have been so dominant on this game mode. Can they keep it up here to take a 2-1 series lead and try to close it out on hardpoint? Because God forbid they go to map 5. It's not going to be a good time. Most
I feel
likely.
like every COD skin now has to move for some reason. And it's going to be
it's
a draw.
We were wrong. Wow. Looks like our predictions were off.
Yeah, I guess so. GG. We're back.
GG's.
I don't know. Every skin in COD now has to like be like wavy and have like have animations.
Well, I think because people have been spoiled now by like how crazy some of the camos have been.
I think it used to be like just dark matter moved and everything else.
It was like dark matter, like a couple of like rare camos. Like I remember in BO3, I'd rock the cherry blossom camo all the time. That was tough. But I think a lot of times, like especially in like the old CODs, like you would literally not, like you said, you wouldn't have an animated camo until like the prestige camo or like the max camo, dark matter or whatever the class one would be. But like I think Modern Warfare did it really well, where you got like the gold and you got the platinum, then you got the Damascus. That was dope. I think.
Yeah, I like Damascus.
Me too.
Damascus looked clean. Now we're going back in again.
All right, let's run
Thank you, Prod.
All right, still same map, still same everything. Nothing really has changed.
That just can't be combat effective.
No, not at all.
Imagine trying to hide in a bush and your gun looks like that.
Yeah, that.
Or especially like if it's Black Ops 6 and every map is made of sand, like it's like it's gonna stick out. But I mean, I guess Crib is using it, so I guess it's the classic. Like if you see this, it's already too late. He's like,
that's very true. I mean, you're kind of like looking at the barrel of an assassin in a sense. Oh my goodness, Ethan frying over on mid. Dave's gonna even the score though, taking out tables. Crib though getting that refrag. Crib still managing to stay alive. Oh my goodness, Crib frying on this right side right now. Huge plays coming in, and tables doing it.
There's been so many. I think that's 4 team kills already for the Mountaineers across hardpoint, and now an early one here on control. But it doesn't look like they're too phased by it. It's Crib already picking up 3. The Mountaineers are going to try and take this first overload point. It's another team kill, though. Tables kill strike. Again.
Tables, whose side
going
are
on?
you on, man?
What is going on? That's uncanny. I think that's 5 already. Ethan gets taken out by Davey. Manny taking out strike once again, and now it just kind of flipped back over towards the side of Fuel. Crib's going to try and fight an uphill boundary to get the Mountaineers back in the advantageous position, but there's like if you look at the map on the bottom, there's a lot of map space here for Fuel. Manny finally getting taken out by strike there, but we're kind of see the Mountaineers get done to them what they so often do to other teams on this game. It's just kind of the relentless pressure. It's almost like Spawn came into a point. But now it's going to have to be a really quick change of pace here for this Mountaineer team before Fuel's going to kind of get their first overload here and try and take a lead. It looks like they will get it right now. Detonating on B, and now the Mountaineers for the first time on stream all season are losing on overload.
Yeah, this is like honestly the first time ever we've seen them down overload. So Fuel kind of living up to the name right now, being 5-0 in NACE. You know, we said they were on fraud watch earlier, but they are definitely off it as of now as Bong picks up 2 before getting taken out by Strike. Mountaineers have yet to even touch the diffuser. And once again, they have it again. Davey's gonna try to run around. He almost went down earlier on, but he's able to stay alive. Making his way over to this B side, but will get taken out by Crib. In the nick of time, Crib's gonna take on 3 now. That was a humongous win there for them, as Fanshawe was on the brink of getting their second point already in overload. Crib, though, has other plans. The Mountaineers now take possession. They're looking to make a strong entrance over here on to this A side. The 2 defenders are stuck in their way. Strikes and take down 1. Only 1 left. Over on the head glitch. Table's gonna go down in the process. That diffuser down. The refrag comes in from Ethan. And now it's all guns a-blazing over on this A side. 1 more player beat, and they will get it. Strike detonates.
And Ethan getting 2 as well. They finally were starting to fight back there and take back some of that map space. Ethan getting the killing spree is definitely going to help that, as Mountaineers are going to be able to tie it back up. Ethan Crib has 17 kills. The rest of their team have 8. It is very sharp to make it 19 kills for the 2 there. Just absolutely frying here. Right back in this Fuel spawn. It's going to be another detonation. Table has just picked it up right when it spawned in, and immediately just Ethan and Crib able to hold this map space for so long. They just have all the space. They can walk wherever they want. They are finally getting it taken out here. Fuel's going to try and find an equalizer of their own, but that's 2 really quick detonations there for West Virginia to get back in the lead.
Yeah, huge plays there for the Mountaineers to retake this lead. But now Sus might have a free site take. No, gonna back out. Actually, only 1 defender was even open at the time. That might have been an easy pickup, but a lot of map space right now for Fanshawe. They've done a good job this game so far, trying to just keep this map pressure on the Mountaineers. Big pickup there by Crib, with the nades gonna come in from Davey. Wow. Quite the scream kind of let out there as well.
I've never heard that before.
Me neither.
The ragdoll, too. Comedy gold. Ethan gets taken out. Strike able to find 1, but does get traded out. The Mountaineers are going to be kind of fine with trades right now. If they are able to kind of play with this lead, Fuel do have control of the detonator for the time being, as they're trying to find this equalizer once again, but they've had a much tougher time trying to control map space than they did in the first 90 seconds of this game. Manny with the nade out, but the black jacket there to protect the Mountaineers, and Manny will get taken out here by Crib. Ethan suddenly now trying to find another one. Crib just takes out 2 of his own, and it's another. Tables needs to stop killing his teammates.
That is the 3rd time in this game that Tables has team killed.
Did he transfer schools?
I don't know. He might have. Are we seeing a mid-game transfer coming in here over to Fanshawe? Who knows? Unbelievable.
Ethan with the get-back nade, the post-mortem nade, but it's not going to be enough, as the rest of the kills will come in for Fuel, and they were able to find the detonation on the B. And now with 30 seconds left in this first half, it's going to be all square here, 2 apiece. And the Fuel's doing a really job of controlling the space. And that detonator did respawn. They might just get another point right here. Mountaineers got to stop this in just a second, and they're not going to be able to.
Yeah, we're going to cross halftime. They're going to grab it.
Yeah, they're going to detonate once again on the B, and Fuel gets 2 quick ones of their own here in this last 30 seconds. Now the Mountaineers are going to head into this halftime in a deficit.
And unless they're able to get something last minute here, the diffuser will get picked up. Ethan, can he get it in the nick of time? No.
Overtime, and he gets
it. They got it.
Wow.
Huge play.
Right in the nick of time. Overtime triggered at just the perfect time, and the Mountaineers able to find their 3rd. That was 3 detonations in the last 40 seconds, I believe. But yeah, in the end, it's going to be all square 0-0 heading into half 2. It's definitely the closest we've seen the Mountaineers get tested on this hardpoint game mode.
Yeah, 100%. Fuel's done a very good job, like you said, of just keeping this map pressure up, keeping their positionings well. Just we're seeing it right here, just the what happens when you do end up doing that, where you're able to kind of just spawn camp, get a lot of picks, hold that B site down, and just get back-to-back defuses or back-to-back detonations. But luckily, the Mountaineers were able to sneak one in just in the last second to tie this back up 3-3. And now the defuser is going to be sitting on mid, and this has been a tough spot to try to grab as there's so many lines of sight that kind of make it super difficult to even grab this thing in the first place. Big movement there by Crib. Beautiful
amazing
play
from Crib. Getting that frag just on movement alone. Ethan taking out there from Davey, so numbers going to be pretty even here as once again just kind of like this battle for mid control can sometimes takes 45 to an entire minute. Davey's going to try and run out and grab it, and he will grab it for the time being. It's going to get taken out. Table's finding 2 there. Strike gets another, and now the Mountaineers are going to take control of mid. I think Fuel got a little bit too over-aggressive there.
Yeah.
Mountaineers are able to capitalize, and now Table's pushing up to him. He's feeling it right now. He gets another one. He's going to pull at the sidearm. Not quite enough, but the Mountaineers are going to take map 6, and they are going to get that detonation right onto A. Tables did an excellent job there, just kind of forcing main and drawing a bunch of attention. Ethan was able to kind of ride that through to a pretty easy detonation, and the Mountaineers are going to take back the lead.
Yeah, easy detonation for the Mountaineers. Just like you said, I think Fuel getting a little bit too overly aggressive, loses a lot of man advantage, loses a lot of space, and Fuel's able to luckily get back here on this next one. But no, never mind. Crib's coming in from behind, taking down 2. The Mountaineers are back with detonation, make it 3 for Crib. Crib is frying right now. This should be a quick detonation for the Mountaineers as they're able to escort off the back of Crib, but no, finally
they're
down.
Take out Crib, and now they're going to have reinforcements in time here. Strike able to find 1, but Fuel players are now just storming over towards that B site. So it's going to be no detonation here, at least for the time being for the Mountaineers, unless they can find these frags once again. Ethan will take home the traded Strike again. Immediately traded. Tables able to find one, and now the Mountaineers might have a chance here. Crib with another headshot. Can they get up in time? But Tables gets taken out. Crib once again, just doing it all on his own. He's going to just try and maybe hold the space. That's good. The headshot comes through. And the Mountaineers are kind of being stalled out right now. They are still getting these frags. The door is still definitely open for another detonation, but the grenade kill onto Ethan. Finally one not by his own teammate.
Yeah. Table's not taking on Ethan for the 3rd time this game. Another nade kill from Strike, though, onto Davey.
Yep, and that's going to be it. Crib finding 3 more. Strike with the nade kill, and it's going to be a detonation on the B. Under 3 minutes here, and the Mountaineers going to increase their lead. 5-3 here at another multi-kill from Crib.
Yeah, they're kind of finding their footing.
28 on the game for Crib. He's come out of the second half just on fire.
Yeah, this is kind of what we're used to seeing more or less from this Mountaineer team when it comes to Overload. Crib is frying, Mountaineers are detonating, and that's going to be a 3-point lead now. Just kind of running away with this right now after this half. I don't know what coach said at halftime, but I'll tell you what, it really worked. Because Crib, right now, I mean, you find when it does go down over on mid and a 2v1, but still, I mean, just creating so much space. I mean, right now, he's like a convoy over to the sites, just detonating however they really please. 29-17 is nuclear.
This could be over rather quickly if Fuel is not able to kind of get another one here quickly. Now just 2 minutes left. This half is already halfway over. And the Fuel have been getting dominated. Mandy's going to find one to headshot on the Crib. Can he find the second? Yes, he can, but does get traded, and the Mountaineers still just kind of coasting. They don't need to get super aggressive here. They can kind of just play their angles, play a little bit more defensive. And they're going to be able to kind of ride this into a pretty easy win. It's just going to be 100 seconds now. Fuel finally gets some frags to go in their way, but Crib just gets 2, and all of a sudden he's right back up. Is he going to find a 3rd? Why not? Crib gets 3, gets 4. It's another quad feed for the man. Why not? 34-18 is just ridiculous.
Just Crib just simply better than anyone in this lobby right now, just frying however he pleases. And once again, I mean, just so much space over on this A side. Like, Fanshawe can't do anything right now.
Tables gets a double frag kill. There's a team kill now for the side. Oh my goodness. It's just it's unbeatable. It's unbeatable. Crib is on fire. Nothing can stop him. No way he gets this kill. I was about to say. No shot. Sus finally able to take him out, but it's just too little too late at this point. The Mountaineers are going to get another detonation. They are going to get to 8, and that is going to be the game. That is
quick one.
Maybe the most dominant 3 minutes of Call of Duty you're ever going to watch.
Yeah, I mean, that last half was absolutely insane. I mean, Crib, we're seeing it here. I believe he found like 6 in a row. I mean, just the flanks were on par every single time. Moves out the Jaeger, finds the 4th. I mean, this guy, he's on a different level.
He is simply different. 30 non-traded kills, more than double anyone had on the side of Fuel. And the Mountaineers, I think that was 5 detonations in like 3 minutes there.
Yeah.
During the second half, and they rid that one out. And now I think we're about to be right on our predictions.
Yeah, so far it's coming to, unless Hardpoint has some insane switch out that we're not expecting. I think we're going to see a 3-1 here.
Well, it's really just going to come down to, can they keep Crib under 32 kills?
I think not. I mean, we saw him earlier on Hardpoint.
There's no evidence that they can do it on a respawn game mode, so I wouldn't expect anything different to happen here. I mean, it just seemed like, and he played decent in the first half. It was all right. It was 3-3. The second half started. I think he had 22 kills in the second half.
Yeah, it was something insane. He wasn't not dying at all.
And it wasn't even the entire time allotted because the Mountaineers just won too quickly. So I mean, it was just absolutely on fire there. Yeah. Now we're going to head back to Hardpoint, the Mountaineers' best game mode, and a chance to make a statement win here in NACE, defeating the #1 overall seed in a 3-1. And then I think after this, the rest of the season really just does become, can they try and fix S&D?
Yeah, that's the main focus of this team right now, because as we're seeing, they have every other game mode on lock. I mean, I don't think they've lost a singular game mode outside of Search and Destroy in NACE so far this year. Obviously, we keep bringing it up, but that Southern Illinois game yesterday, that's the only caveat that we're seeing right now in this roster, was that one loss. But they had it really in the bag. It's just unfortunate, so things do happen. But right now, Philly Sports looking to have their first loss of the season. But unless they can pull things back over, here on Hardpoint, because if they are able to do that, they do have a round 5 on Search and Destroy, which they won earlier on. Remotely, it was a close game, so maybe the Mountaineers can pull that one out. But in all honesty, I don't see it going to 5 right now. I see it ending right here.
Yep, we're going to head back to Exposure, a map that we've seen, I think, a couple times already on stream for Hardpoint. They haven't lost Hardpoint on stream all year. I don't think that's going to change, especially after they just looked outstanding. And especially towards kind of the final third on map on Hardpoint, it was just all Mountaineers all the time. I think it was probably 140 to 115, and then it ended 250 to 120. It just was not close at all. All the kills are going in the way of the gold and blue, and I think we're just going to see a pretty quick repeat. I think watching Crib go for 35-plus kills 2 times in 3 maps is going to be pretty demoralizing for a team like this. I just don't think they're going to be able to handle it. And yeah, I think the Mountaineers are going to set themselves up beautifully here to kind of take claim to this conference.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think this is really rolling out the red carpet for taking this #1 seed. Now the only maybe issue is going to be Akron next week, and then Marshall of the last game of the season. But I do think here, if they are able to beat Fuel in a 3-1, I think they can beat Akron as well. And then the only real issue is going to be Marshall at the end of the season, because Marshall right now, they've proven themselves to be a
Marshall
really
very well
solid
may
team.
be the true challenger here.
Yes, I agree.
We thought it was going to be Fuel. And I guess on Search and Destroy, it might be Fuel, but they just looked completely outclassed on every other game mode. I do think the Search and Destroy is more of an issue about WVU than it is Fuel's excellence.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think if everyone might come down to it, because Marshall is currently undefeated as well in NACE play. They just have only played 3 games somehow because reschedules and forfeits and all that other garbage.
So many forfeits, far too many.
So I believe, that is going to be a week 7 undefeated matchup. We very well might be getting if the Mountaineers can take care of one of these next 2 maps and then take her next week into Akron. That'll be a really fun one to kind of see coming down the tracks. As back on Exposure, some mistakes were made, and we're going to end up in another draw.
I love a good draw. We really do. But we are going back here, like you said, on Exposure. So. I think this has been a really dominant map for the Mountaineers so far in NACE. They've, I think, won by at least 100 points every single time we've seen them take.
Not a lot of close ones.
Yeah. So, I think I don't know if it's P1, but the midpoint has been it's going to be a cluster like it is every single time. There's always, that one barrel to kind of hide behind, but other than that, it is free reign, which could be an issue when you're playing against somebody like Crib.
You're going to have one person that's going to run up and prone behind that one barrel, and then everyone else is just going to try and kill it, the other team. There's a shocking number of hard points on pretty much every map where it's just one person, find the safest corner you can be in, and just
sit there.
Hope that you don't get hit by a nade.
Yep.
And then everyone else go kill people.
Yep. That's it. That's all you can do.
But when you have Crib and Ethan and they're combining for 60 kills a map, sometimes that works.
It does.
That can definitely work.
So we'll see. I think we're gonna see a lot of Crib flanks. We're gonna see hopefully another 4K. So far, he's had a 4K in every single
in every respawn map.
Yeah,
so
every
far.
single respawn. So
wow. We were really robbed. We were robbed like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
In the first 2 changes we had, or you got 3 and then like the 4th person just wasn't there, or he was just too low and couldn't win the last gunfight. So thankfully, I think this means we're finally going to see a Valorant ace.
I hope so. I want to see an Excite Chamber ace. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
That's my dream every single night. Maybe it'll come true. I
Maybe,
wish
just maybe.
Star. Oh, down goes one.
Mistake for mate again. But looks like this time oh my goodness. Not
Tables,
again.
I mean, technically, is that a team kill again from Tables, technically? Check his
I guess
FanDuel.
so. So he's had like, what, 8?
Yeah.
8 so far this match. Hasn't mattered a ton. Thankfully, I believe there weren't any else who can destroy, which is when it would really matter, but the Mountaineers were able to overcome either way, and Tables trying to find an early one, but Crib, the headshot on a man to get in that first blood, and now it is going to be Tables taking the Time Water tradition of proning behind a box and racking up points here for the Mountaineers team, although he does get a headshot, though, from that high ground area.
Ooh, Ethan, quick fire response time there. This is such a hard point to really get on and stay on. Right now, the Mountaineers trying to make it work. Ethan playing a really nice angle on his left side, trying to support Tables, who's now all by himself. Trying to kind of get away, but cannot do it in the process. Will get taken down. Fuel Esports trying to even the score out a little bit here. They've taken a lot of space on mid. The Mountaineers currently have nothing, and they're going to probably take a lead here. Oh, Tables on the side. Picks up one.
It's got to be pretty par for the course on that hard point to only get 25 to 30 combined points. It is just so hard to hold for an extended period of time. Fuel was able to kind of get it for those last 17 seconds, and partially because the Mountaineers were kind of willing to give it up and play for the power point. It's because they are able to immediately get it, immediately take that lead right back. Ethan will follow maybe a slight opening here. Manny finds one as well, but Strike finds trade basically all on Strike now, and he will not be able to find it. And Fuel doing a better job of keeping it close early. We saw last time it got to like 70 to 10 early on at hardpoint on map 1. So they're doing a better job now of kind of keeping themselves in striking distance, but they just can't allow the Mountaineers to go on one of these explosive runs that they've gone on a couple times in this match.
Oh yeah, I mean this is, like I said, the Mountaineers. If you're Fuel right now, you cannot allow them to get streaky. You can't let Crib pop off for 30 for like the second time. So you got to keep them under check. And right now they're doing a good job with that. They're taking a lot of space. In this midsection, as you see, Mini is just kind of holding this thing down. Something from Mini, like, flanks coming through, working on that. He's on a 5-piece now, make it 6.
Manny.
7.
Just getting 7 in a row there. It's the first time we've seen one of these Fuel players go on one of those long winning kill streaks. Strike and Ethan able to find one there as well, but Fuel's doing a really good job of getting out early here. Strike was going to take out a couple there. I think that might have been, that was a 3-piece there from Strike. Mountaineers able to take back control here as they're going to try and chip into this lead. Take it back here on P3. It was a really good effort there from Manny to give Fuel their first hardpoint lead, I think, all day, but if they're not able to hold it for very long, it looks like they might be able to kind of get a contest here. It's going to be Crib all alone. He's able to find 1, 2 maybe, but not quite all of them. And Fuel will take it back to 20 seconds here on this hardpoint with a 10-point lead.
Yeah, I mean, right now Fuel playing well. They didn't play this well early on in that first game. We saw them kind of get down like 50 points early on and kind of stay down the whole time. But right now they are taking a lead. They're trying to climb it as best as they possibly can right now. The Mountaineers are waiting on this P4. And they will be able to take at least 10 seconds of it. But only one player is currently sitting on a table, kind of watching the backside. And he will get a pick because of it. They get 2 picks. Big picks up there from Tables. Almost going down. They're able to get out. Strike still holding this power point. Gaining these points. Only 10 points away from crossing that tie threshold. A little bit of movement. Gonna be too much. Strike, can he get a second one here? Yes, no, he cannot. So low. 7 HP for Bonk. That's a 2-1 win for him. He goes down in the process anyway.
I mean, it's just Crib getting those last couple is going to be so impactful for the Mountaineers team as they're finally going to be able to kind of get right to where Fuel are. We will see another tie game here. Strike takes one, but Tables falls as well. Ethan is in after, and the Mountaineers are able to hold on for now. The trades come through. Crib and Strike holding on the fort. They're going to kind of build another one of these leads. 10-point lead now as they're going to kind of give up on this hard point and look to play for the next, rack up these last few points here in Fuel. However, is going to kind of get immediate control here. Sus already back over here. Now, how are the Mountaineers going to be able to attack to kind of get back into this Crib? It's starting to come alive here, though. We see him more and more in the kill feed. He had a slow start to this game, but Once those kills start to fall, it's really hard to get him off that train. Strike, however, going to kind of be man in this hard point, laying prone, biding his time, waiting for his teammates. They're doing a good job now. The Mountaineers are going to try and build the largest lead of the game so far.
Yeah, this P5 is a lot of times really hard to retake without a flank. And right now, the Mountaineers are proving that, as they're able to just kind of like, even when, you know, the one player that is in the hard point goes down, it's so hard to retake it.
Crib's on a 5-man. Crib has woken up. Started off slow, as I mentioned, but now the kills are 1 to 6-man for Crib. Finally gets taken out, but he does enough there to give the Mountaineers a 15-point lead here. Fuel are going to probably ride out the rest of this hard one, but it's not going to be enough to tie them up once again. Much, much closer, though, as we mentioned, from game 1. The Mountaineers, we know they have these runs in them. We know these spurts where they can just kind of come alive here. Crib finding one, does get taken out, though. Now the hard point will flip back over to Tower.
Yeah, this has been a tough one. P1's been extremely difficult. Ethan finds one. If he can get a second one here, that could be huge. Trying to get this hard point early on, and it looks like he will. The timing is going to be in his favor, and he is at his barrel spot. They know probably exactly where he is. Big pick up there by Crib, watching over his teammate. The nade's going to come through. Both taking down. The Mountaineers didn't have enough time to get a trophy system up. And now nobody on the hard point right now. Tables takes ownership.
Gets right behind those barrels. Do they have another nade? Yes, they do, and he's dead.
Yeah, this hard point is impossible to hold without somebody watching your back or a trophy system down on your head. So you have to have something to assist you. If not, it's an absolute death trap, and we're seeing that here. As Fuel might be able to take something here. They're going to have that trophy system up. For some reason, he's actually going to peek out. Bonk going down. Didn't really need to swing that there. Nice play there.
Ill-advised there for sure. I think Fuel had a pretty clean path there to take the lead once again, but decided to take the gunfight. Didn't end up going in his favor. And they will kind of get clean here immediately, and they will be tied up once more. Fuel. It's been back and forth so far. A lot of lead changes so far. Ethan, Crib, both taking out one. Ethan, again, another. Now the kills put back in the favor of the Mountaineers. Ethan trying to get 3, and he will. A 3-piece there from the captain, and the Mountaineers are going to reclaim lead once again. Really back and forth.
Trophy goes down here on P2. This is a humongous hole for the Mountaineers to already take this lead, as this is, in a sense, a must-win for them right now.
Fuel don't want to have to go back and play more search and destroy, but Fuel's doing everything in their power to just try and force a map 5. What is Crib able to do here? Gets the reload down, slides around. Can he find one? Yes, he can. Can he live? Gets swung, and he cannot live. Fuel has the reinforcements in the nick of time. Strike can't quite find that final hit marker he needs, but they do a good job of kind of holding them back. The Fuel's only going to be able to get a few ticks here on that hard point. Taking out Strike there. We'll flip right back over. It's been a much, much slower game than game 1 as well. We haven't really seen teams explode for 40 or 50 points on one singular hard point. It's been a lot of kind of like, 25 points for one team, 50 points for another. They're just kind of trying to slowly build this lead as Crib. Taking out Bonk once more. Now the Mountaineers, their largest lead of the game so far.
Yeah, and a really big hole here. The trophy systems are up. The man advantage is on the Mountaineers. It's going to be so hard for Fanshawe to try to take this. There's only 3 entrances all into the site. Strike and Ethan are both frying right now with the rifles. Susto picks up 2. Mountaineers giving this lead almost up to 50 at this point. Table still holding this thing down. Is going to find 2 in the process. Crib on a 5-piece.
He's on another 5-piece.
Make
it's
it
just rinse
6.
and repeat. It is simply just rinse and repeat. You had to imagine eventually he's just going to explode. He did it a little bit earlier when the Mountaineers were kind of able to build this lead, and now it's almost up to 50 points. It is up to 50 points. Tables gets 2 as well there. The lone man defending that hard point, and now the Mountaineers have really blown this open, and Fuel is in dire straits right now to kind of stay alive in this series.
Crib might get timing here. It's looking like he will. Big play here by Mini. Mini's been the hero a lot of times in these matchups. The Mountaineers still taking this lead up by 70 points now. Looking to just kind of run away with this game. It's going to be so hard to come back from this insane deficit, especially when Crib is popping off like he is right now. Looks like he might go down here, and he will, but Strike's going to hit the refrag in the process. Right now, Fanshawe is able to try to hold this P4 down.
This is a huge hard point for the side of the field. They've had it for the last 25 seconds, so they were able to chip into this lead as much as they can. Manny's on a killing spree of his own right now, but as I mentioned, that Crib finding 2 more, and they're going to flip it right back over. The Mountaineers are going to be able to kind of ride this out for these last 10 seconds, get to around 220 points, and now it really is going to kind of become maybe a 1 hard point game here. Fuel with margin for error is just going to be so slim. Ethan finds 2 more, and it's going to be 223 for the Mountaineers. 27 points is all that separates. They built themselves up a really healthy lead here. Fuel's able to take it over immediately on Salt Swords, but the kills come through. They're going to go for the time being. Crib can find one. Yes, again, can he get two? No, he cannot. Just not enough health there. The headshot comes through. Tables there with the refag, and now the Mountaineers able to reclaim at 25 points. Tables needs to find that, but he's not able to. It's a lot of trading going on. No one's really able to kind of maintain possession now. The Mountaineers have players on. Crib gets taken out, however.
Fanshawe is kind of looking to contest this for the time being, wait for reinforcements to come through, and they are going to come through. Strike is taken down. Tables can't find the shots to land, and Fuel is still alive. Mountaineers knocking at the door, though. Crib can't find the kill over on mid. And his P5 is going very, very well right now for Fanshawe. Strike going to get naded along with Ethan. Good nade by Bonk.
He's massive for Fuel. And that's going to be such another big hard point for them as they're going to try and once again cut into this lead. It was as up to as big as 80. Now it's down to just over 30. Tables gets 2 there, not able to find anything else. He will get traded out, and that's going to be such a dominant hard point for the side of Fanshawe. Now the Mountaineers look like they were smooth sailing, but nothing's the case now. Ethan, though. Can he find 3? Oh, my goodness, Ethan. The multi-kill there comes through. Can they capitalize?
They're going to have to. I mean, P1's so hard to hold. They're going to need to get on it immediately, and they will. Kind of trophy system gets set up in the process. Crib takes down 1. He's holding a really good angle right now. Takes down the window player as well.
Just so huge from Crib. Now they're just going to have to kind of throw their bodies at the pointer to stop the Mountaineers from winning on the spot, but Crib is just a laser beam. He's just ridiculous. A 5 streak does finally get taken out, but he's just done his part. He's done enough, and the Mountaineers are going to ride it to a 3-1 victory. It is a perfect prediction from both of us for the first time in like
a long time.
A long time, but the Mountaineers take out the undefeated Fuel in convincing fashion.
Yes. Hardpoint was definitely a strong suit. I mean, admittedly, this last hardpoint here definitely looked a bit better for Fuel, but Crib, when he's in the equation, it's going to be really difficult for this team to surmount anything when you're just getting fried like this. Beautiful plays by everybody there.
I think I said pregame, can they keep him under 32? And I guess the answer was no.
Yeah, they did.
I guess, well, he's not under 32. I guess he's at 32.
No, he's at 32. I mean, is that the parlay hit? I don't know. I guess, yeah. Kind of, right? If it, 32, or it's like, is it 32 and under or under 32?
I think I said under 32.
Well, then it hit.
Wow.
There you go. Beautiful plays.
Does just enough, and it really just kind of was the timing of his kills. It wasn't just like, it wasn't really sustained over the entire period, but it was just these really quick bursts, and the Mountaineers were able to capitalize them into huge leads. I think they scored 85 points across 2 hard points. It just blew the entire game open. Fuel did a good job of coming back a little bit, and then that last 5 piece there, playing at mid, a point that is so hard to hold for, any real kind of length of time, and that was all the Mountaineers needed to ride it home. I mean, now moving to 5-0, Fuel falling to 5-1. So actually, I believe technically they are tied in the standings because the way that NACE work, it just counts on points from wins. So they're going to be tied in points. But obviously, the Mountaineers still with the 0 in the second half of the record, which is really what matters. And Marshall, I believe, already won their game here today as well. Yeah, they 3-0'd the NBC Wolverines. So I do think the Marshall WVU undefeated matchup in just a few weeks very well maybe coming on the track. So that should be super exciting. Akron, as we mentioned, next week. Akron does have a loss already on the season, I believe. Yes, to Marshall in a 3-0. So the Mountaineers are going to have to really perform well next week to kind of, keep that mental edge. Because, if Marshall's going to come through in 3-0 team like Akron, that's a pretty big feat. So, it's got to think, especially because that means they want search and destroy.
Exactly.
Uh-oh.
So that's not good. That's not what you want to see. And especially in a powerhouse like Marshall, where that's going to be a really big contributing factor. If they do continue to go undefeated, Mountaineers are going to have to beat them in that last game of the season to take that #1 spot and really set their place for NACE playoffs. But they're going to have to win search and destroy to do so.
They certainly are, and I think we're going to have Ethan on for an interview in just a few seconds. So we'll see how he feels after that game, because it's kind of been I think we've only had 3 NACE matches on stream, and I think 2 of them were kind of exactly like this. The Mountaineers look dominating and very convincing on the respawn game. On the search and destroy is a struggle for them, and they ended up losing. They beat who'd they beat? They beat Baldwin Wallace on search and destroy.
Yes,
and I think it was close.
I believe it was. It was like a 6-4, maybe. I don't know. It was not a blowout by any means. But they're going to have to continue to do that against higher caliber teams. Like I said, if they want any chance of going anywhere, but they have a lot of time to do so. Marshall is at the end of the season, so I mean, we'll see what happens.
Absolutely, and we are going to head into interview here. Ethan, how are we doing? Congratulations on the win. All right. First thing I wanted to talk about, it's been kind of, we haven't been able to catch a ton of your guys' games so far this season, but what has happened in 2 of the 3 NACE games we watched is you guys are dominating on hardpoint, you're dominating on overload, but search and destroy continues to kind of be a little bit of a hiccup for you guys. What do you think is going to have to go into the preparation of these next coming weeks to get better at that specifically?
I mean, I don't even know, to be honest, because like we go to LAN and we're incredible at S&D, but horrible at hardpoint. So I think it's just a couple mistakes. I think we fix those mistakes and we should be able to get the wins.
I'd like to hear that. So like Will was saying, you popped off there on that second game on Search and Destroy, which is, like he was saying, something you guys have kind of struggled on throughout the season. So what was the biggest factor in that performance you had?
I think it was just good team chows. Like, James was making a lot of good calls. The guys were moving on the map. It was just like, I was in good positions to get trades. They got them weak, so I don't know. It wasn't anything crazy.
Team player.
Yeah,
Yes,
humble.
sir.
All right. the humble Ethan, as always. So now you guys take out Fuel, who was number 1 in NACE standings at 5-0. The only other undefeated team in NACE right now is Marshall, who you guys have, I believe, had some experience with in these past few weeks. So I think you guys have them in 2 weeks here, and that will likely be an undefeated matchup. So have you learned something after playing them early that you think is going to help you guys in this matchup? And is that kind of like marked on the calendar?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. It's an in-state rival. First day,